Hi, it's Walter Burns from Keller Williams City Life Realty and livingonthehudson.com. Today I'm going to go over the town of Weehawken. So Weehawken sits along the Hudson River waterfront just north of Hoboken. And it basically starts along the waterfront here. It goes just north of Hoboken up to about the ferry terminal over here in the Weehawken, West New York border. So Weehawken starts right around here on Park Avenue, runs along the waterfront, goes up to the ferry terminal. It comes up Boulevard East, which is the road that runs parallel to the Hudson River along the Palisades Cliff. You have the Hamilton Park, which is where the duel of Hamilton and Burr was many years ago. And then further north, it runs, this area here is called the Bluff. So you have the Weehawken Bluffs up here. And then it wraps around this area just south of 495 to the reservoir over here. So this is Weehawken as well. Just to orient ourselves on the map, so Weehawken is here, Union City is here, West New York is here, Union City is here, and then you have Jersey City Heights over this way, and then Hoboken to the south. So Weehawken, basically the main commuting, if you live in Weehawken, there's the ferry to New York, which there's a few ferry terminals along the waterfront, which I'll go over. And then there's the bus, because the Lincoln Tunnel is right here, which goes into New York City. So you have the Lincoln Tunnel, the bus takes you right into New York and get into Midtown Manhattan. Today I'm going to go over the large-scale condominium options that exist. So the first one is basically off the waterfront, and it's on Gregory Avenue, which is overlooking the Lincoln Tunnel helix here. And this is called Gregory Commons. It's located at 518 Gregory Avenue. It's 3 condominium buildings as part of the association. It was originally a factory that was converted into condominiums in the mid to late 80s, around 88, I believe. And it's 3 buildings. They are loft style. They have high ceilings. Many of them are like 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom layouts. And they also have New York City views, some of them, because they face here directly east towards the city. There's an indoor pool, there's a concierge, there's a fitness center, there's parking. Some units have parking under the building, and some have parking here in the garage on Gregory Avenue. But that's Gregory Commons. That's like the major non-waterfront condo building. But if we're looking at the condos that are on the waterfront, starting on the south side, so just to orient ourselves, right across from Hoboken, in the southernmost point of Weehawken, you have Riva Pointe, which is located at 600 Harbor Boulevard. It is located right across from Midtown Manhattan and Hudson Yards. Behind it, in this complex, you have a mixed use of residential rental, condominium buildings, commercial office buildings, and commercial retail. Riva Pointe is a pier building. The building sits on top of the Hudson River. They have great views of like southern Manhattan and also Midtown and North. 1, 2, 3-bedroom layouts. Some owners have combined units and made much, 3 and 4-bedroom units that are much larger. But the building was built in the early 90s in 3 phases. It was finished around the mid-2000s, and it's a pier-style building. There is a public park here on the east side that closes, I believe, around 5 or 6 p.m. That the public can access, and the views are amazing of New York. But that is Riva Pointe, again, on top of the Hudson River, but great, excellent New York City views. The building also has parking, which is located under these buildings, not in the water, but on the ground level, essentially, of the complex. It also has a gym on this side and a pool and a concierge. But living in Riva Pointe, what's convenient is you have a couple commuting options to New York. So you have the bus here right across from on Harbor Boulevard. The bus stop takes you right into New York. It's the last stop here, and then you hop the Lincoln Tunnel, and you're in Midtown New York. There's also a ferry terminal, which is right next to Riva Pointe here on the south side. That takes you right across Midtown. And there's also the light rail, which is located behind UBS. This is the UBS commercial investment firm. Right here is the light rail, and that takes you back south into Hoboken and into Jersey City, or north into Union City. In this area by Riva Pointe, you also have residential rentals like these buildings here, where you can only rent, or these buildings like here where you can only rent. You also have commercial retail, so you have Whole Foods Market there as well, which is very convenient if you live in the complex. You don't have to go very far for food shopping. Moving north along the Weehawken waterfront, the next major condominium complex is Henley on Hudson. And Henley on Hudson was built in the like 2006, 2007, 2008 range, and they have built phases since then here along the waterfront. And the original phases on this side, it's a mixture of condominium buildings. When I say condominium buildings, they're all condos, but you have these buildings that are groupings that are like 1, 2, 3 bedroom units that are located in a larger building. And you also have the townhomes here. And the townhomes here are like 3, 4, 5 bedroom townhomes that are right across the river from New York. So when they built, this was like phases. This was phase 1, and then phases 2 and 3 were built in like the early like 2012 to 2015 range. In phases 2 and 3, they built like here you have these condo buildings with 1 and 2 bedroom and 3 bedroom layouts, but they stopped building the townhomes and they built more condo, like larger scale condo buildings with more units along here along the waterfront. So if you want a townhome or standalone townhome, Henley offers them here in this phase. And then of course, these condos are like 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, they can be larger. There's some units that are over 1,800 square feet in these groupings here. The complex has an outdoor pool as well as a fitness center. There is a concierge located in this building, which is like the main concierge for the complex. You can have packages sent there. There's a fitness center, there's a residence lounge. And I believe in these buildings too, they also added additional fitness centers to offset the demand for this building. So you have Henley on Hudson here across from the Hudson River. Just north of Henley on Hudson is another group of townhomes, which are condominium townhomes, which is called the Brownstones at Port Imperial. And this is built in the early 2000s by, I believe, Pulte Homes built these. And these are, Roseland Properties built these homes, another developer in the area. And they are like 3, 4, 5 bedroom homes. They don't turn over very much. There's about 50 of them here. As you can imagine, they have pretty spectacular views of New York, given that they're right across from the Hudson River. Generally speaking, you're looking at pricing like high, like around $2 million and up. It depends on the size because some of them are smaller. And also the ones in this grouping tend to sell for more than over here just because they're not direct east. They have views more of southern lower Manhattan versus these homes here, which are more direct to New York, direct east facing to Midtown. So yeah, the Brownstones at Port Imperial. As far as amenities go, the complex has security. There is no concierge, there is no gym, there is no pool. However, Weehawken just built a public pool for the town, which is over here. So residents can use that pool and join it. And there's also a number of fitness center options along River Road if you wanted to join a gym, which may be more cost effective anyway than having it built into your maintenance fee on site. So you have the Brownstones at Port Imperial here. Just north of the Brownstones at Port Imperial is a group of properties called the Avenue Collection. And they are located right here along the waterfront. And this is 1000 Avenue at Port Imperial and 1200 Avenue at Port Imperial. They were built by Lennar starting in the mid 2000s, like 2008, 2012, 2014 range. They were built in a few different phases. And they are smaller scale, like boutique condominium building. It's only about 6, 7 stories in like the highest part. And they are 1, 2, 3 bedroom. I believe some of the penthouses are 4 bedrooms. Modern construction, floor to ceiling glass windows, overlooking New York. The building has a pool in the 1200 Avenue Port Imperial building, which the residents in 1000 can use. So if you live in this building, you have access to the amenities in this building as well. And that they are going to build another piece of property here that will be developed eventually. Not 100% certain what's to be built there yet. It's probably going to be something along these lines in this area. But if you look at the Henley, the Avenue Collection, where it's located, you also notice these other buildings here along the water behind them. And these are exclusive rental buildings. So you can only rent here. Like one building is called River's Edge. They're exclusive rental. They have great views, but you cannot buy there. If you're looking to buy along the waterfront, these are the two options here. The Avenue Collection Concierge full service building, parking. You're also very close to the ferry terminal, which is right here. You could easily get there from these locations, walk over, take a quick bike ride over. Um, the last condominium building really here along the waterfront is the Avora, which is right here. It's located at 800 Avenue, Port Imperial, and that was built around 2016. This building is 1, 2, 3. I believe there's some 4-bedroom layouts as well. It's basically a U-shaped building with a pool in the middle. Some of the units have like very large terraces, as you can see here, that like step up and have amazing views of Midtown New York. Has a amenity-driven building, so you have fitness center, full-time concierge, 24-hour concierge, residence lounge, on-site parking. So the parking deck is below the building. Again, very similar to the Avenue Collection in that great views in New York. It's modern construction, floor-to-ceiling glass windows. And that's the last building here along the Weehawken waterfront across from the ferry terminal, because when you cross over here, you're into West New York. So this is kind of the end of the Weehawken waterfront. Weehawken does run a little further west. It comes up here along Boulevard East, which is the road that runs parallel to River Road down below and the Hudson River. So you're elevated over here on the Palisade, and then Weehawken runs back here further south, back up to where Gregory Commons is. This area up here is called the Bluffs. So you have the Weehawken Bluffs that, again, homes that are built on top of the cliff overlooking New York. They were built probably like in the early 1900s up to like 1930s, 1940s in this area. But from a modern construction, newer construction perspective, the majority of your buildings along the waterfront, again, Riva Pointe, Henley on Hudson, the Avenue Collection, which is 1000 Avenue and 1200 Avenue. This is 1200, this is 1000. And then you have 800 Avenue at Port Imperial, the Avora building. If you have any questions, I'll link down below links to these various condo buildings so you can check out the available inventory. You can sign up for listing alerts if you're looking to purchase. And you can also rent in these buildings if an owner has a unit that they are renting out. But I can be reached anytime at walter@livingonthehudson.com or at 347-448-3766. Have a great day.